Welcome to the Soap Dish, where we dish about the soaps. Oh my God, you are all in for a treat. Today we have a very special edition of the Soap Dish. I have been busy all weekend with my ear to the streets of Fairmont Crest, and I was able to secure an interview. So let's backtrack a little bit. I'm sure you all already knew this weekend there was the anniversary party for Dr. Ted Richardson and Dr. Nicole Richardson, celebrating their wonderful marriage, or so we thought. You've probably seen it on social media already, but it's yet another scandal in the Dupree family. But this time, it's not Danny Dupree, it's her sister, Nicole. We reached out to Eva Thomas to find out exactly how duplicitous she was in this scandal. Was she plotting revenge with her mother all this time? Or did her mother actually lie to her? Adultery, failed abortions, and bribery, there is no shortage of intrigue in this story and what goes on beyond those gates. Eva, what say you?
Thank you for having me. I can't say I'm happy to be here. I don't know if that's quite the right word, but I am grateful for the opportunity to share my side of the story. I've seen the clips all over social media. I know what people think of me. I didn't know who else to talk to or where to go. No one in my family. Ted is my family. First, I think that's what people should know. I did run a DNA test without his consent, just to make sure that everything my mama told me was true, and it was. Ted Richardson is my father. For most of my life, I didn't know who my father was. I don't even know if I understood if I had a father. We never talked about it growing up. I grew up poor in Chicago, and it wasn't that uncommon. Everybody came from a single parent home. It was just normal. Looking back, I don't even know if I really understood that we were poor. Mama hid that from me. Leslie, it's very complicated now, but back then, she was a good mama to me. We might not have all the things that we wanted, but we had love. And I had a stepfather for many years. I always knew that he didn't think of me as his daughter, and that was okay. Because he made my mama happy. And he wasn't bad to me. I just knew that he didn't love me. This isn't how I wanted it to be. When my stepfather died, my mama started to change. She wasn't her happy, goofy self anymore. She was dark and depressed, and I thought that it was just grief. And after she healed and some time went by, she would go back to normal, but she never did. She just got more and more depressed. She thought I didn't see the bills. But I knew. That's when I started to understand that we didn't have enough money. And I offered to help. I did help. I've been doing hair as far back as I can remember to chip in. And then one day I told her I was going to get a second job to help even more, so she didn't have to be so sad. And that's when she told me about my real father. She told me about Ted. That he was a rich, fancy doctor living in Baltimore. in a mansion. I couldn't understand why, if I had a daddy, why he wasn't there with us, why we weren't there with him. She told me that he didn't want us, that he didn't want me. He had another family. And I was hurt. But I swear I didn't want to hurt him. I don't think I did. I don't know. It was also clear a few months ago. After last night, I don't know what to think. Now I find out that he said he didn't know I existed. I don't know what's true and what's not. I don't want to think that my own mama could have lied to me about all of this. I don't think she could have planned it all out. How could she have known? We came to Baltimore to let him know about me and change his mind. And once he saw his own flesh and blood right before his eyes, he would have to feel bad. He would feel sorry. He would want me. He would welcome me into the family. But the plan kept changing. And then Mama met Mona, and they became friends. And her daughter happened to work for Ted's wife. And then her daughter was in an accident. I think it was an accident. I'm almost positive it was an accident. It was circumstance. And Mona thought of me for the job. And then I got to work for Nicole. And she wasn't at all like Mama said. She wasn't stuck up or a snob. She was kind and welcoming to me. Nothing like her daughter. Nothing like Kat, my sister. I always wanted a sister. Now I have a sister and a brother. And they both hate me. And I understand why. But I just need them to know. I just need my family to know what happened last night wasn't the plan. I did not want Leslie to do that. I knew people were going to get hurt. But honestly, I figured it would be me more than anyone else. But seeing how angry Ted was and how sad Nicole was, I don't know if we can ever come back from that. But I hope so. I may have come to town hoping for some back child support, but none of that matters anymore. I don't care if they ever welcome me into their home again, into their family again. I just need them to forgive me. I know that I'm not a horrible person. At least I didn't mean to be. I'm not blameless. But I thought he didn't want me. I thought he sent us away. Ted, if you see this, I'm so sorry. Nicole, I am so sorry. You all welcomed me into your home. You did so much for me. And I betrayed you. And maybe it's too much for me to ask for your forgiveness because I don't know if I will ever forgive myself. You never have to find me. You never have to reach out to me. I just need you to know that I'm sorry for all the hurt that I caused. I'm so sorry for all the hurt that Leslie caused. We won't bother you anymore.
Eva, thank you so much for sharing so much of your story, of your heart with us. If you were honest, then I think that our viewers will agree with me when we say we're so sorry for everything that you've gone through, and we hope that this works out the best for you.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that. I don't know if I deserve your empathy or your sympathy. I just know that I made this mess and I have to at least try to clean it up.
Don't end the video just yet. Now that we've heard Eva's side of the story, let's find out what Mother Dearest has to say. There's always more to dish about. Thank you, everyone, for staying tuned. As promised, there's more. We have another guest. Leslie, thank you for joining us. Or should I call you Dana? Oh, you're welcome, darling. Like justice, the champagne is quite delicious. Leslie, I do feel, in the interest of full disclosure, I should tell you that we already did speak to your daughter, Eva, and she gave us her side of the story. No, I appreciate that, but please know I am quite sure what our daughter has been up to. She's a quite mischievous little girl. And if what Eva said is true, it does seem from her perspective, she could be considered quite partially, probably somewhat innocent in all of this. How do you respond to that? I wouldn't quite call her innocent. I am innocent. I am the victim. The Richardsons, the Duprees, they have no idea how hard my life was being a single mother. I'm sure you can imagine, most of us have already seen the footage from that night. There were several people streaming at the club. If what we heard is true, it seems like you may have broken several laws. Enough with the questions. Let me just tell it to you in my own words. It was not too many years ago. I never sought out this life. I was a waitress at a diner. I was minding my own business. Sure, life was not grand, but my bills were paid and I got by. Teddy walked into my life. He started coming to the diner every day with his son, Martin, the congressman. I used to give him brownies. I actually felt bad for him back then. I thought how sad it was that poor boy was so neglected, and how sad it was that dear Dr. Teddy had to bring him to lunch every day by himself when he supposedly had a wife at home who couldn't be bothered to get out of bed to tend to either one of them. Everything I know about their family and their problems, he told me. Every day he came in, spilling his heart out about how sad it was, how miserable it was at home, how he wanted to make things work, but talking to her was like talking to a wall. He would rather talk to me. And then one day, he came into the diner by himself, and it wasn't lunchtime. It was closing time. He offered me a ride home. We both know what he meant. One thing led to another, as they say, and it didn't take long for me to fall in love with him. And he said he loved me too, that it was more than just sex. He said he was going to leave her for me, that we could start a family. I believed him. He said he wanted to take me away from all of this, that I would never have to serve others again. I was to be a doctor's wife. I just had to be patient. And I was. And then one day, he tells me it's over. He decided to go back to his wife because she's pregnant. Because she's pregnant. He didn't even ask why I had been acting different, why I wasn't drinking anymore, why I couldn't eat all of our favorite foods anymore. He was just so happy that him and his precious Dr. Nicole were about to have another baby. Then his number changed. I tried, I called, I texted, I emailed it. I called him at work and I could not get through. There was no way for me to get in touch with him. One day, I went to his office and I was going to confront him about everything, and I was going to tell them about our own little bundle of joy. As I walked around the parking lot, I looked through the window and I saw him embracing her, kissing her, like I didn't even exist. Then when I got home, there was a lawyer at my door. Everyone in Fairmount Crest knows him, Bill Hamilton. He threatened me. He gave me money, a stack of cash, and told me I had to leave. That was the only way for me to live, for my child to live. He said if I didn't run, if I didn't take the money, if I didn't start over, they would take my child and no one would ever see me again. I didn't have a choice. People ask, who is Dana? Why am I Leslie now? I had to become Leslie. Dana had to die so that Leslie could live. I am not a criminal. I am not a con artist. If I broke the law, then so did Teddy, so did Bill Hamilton, Esquire. Everything I did was in retaliation. Everything I did was for that little girl. I maintained my silence for years. While I struggled to buy Pampers, they had their own precious kitty cat and golden diapers. And now, I'm the villain? I'm the bad guy? No. Look, I never wanted to hurt Nicole. I never really cared much about her anyway. But they are the ones who decided to flaunt their great love story in documentaries. They started this, and it was up to me to finish it. And now the world knows exactly what kind of man Ted Richardson is. Teddy cheated on his wifey. He told me that he loved me. He is the villain. And it's about time he suffers. And my daughter, Eva, deserves her rightful inheritance. We are not going anywhere. Thank you, Leslie. You gave us quite a lot to think about. Again, I just want to thank you for being here. Thank you for reaching out to us to share your part of the story. Please know you're welcome back anytime. Oh, you're welcome for the views, darling. I'm sure I'll be back. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the conversations. Please tune in to the Soap Dish again tomorrow. I'm sure there'll be even more drama to dish about.